Dear students of class 12th, as you know, we have completed a lesson from the text Flamingo titled as Rattrap. In the previous lesson, we completed some questions of the text of this lesson. Now, with today's lesson, we will discuss the remaining questions of the text. Now, let us start. Understanding the text. Question number first: how does the peddler interprets the acts of kindness and hospitality shown by the crofter, the ironmaster, and his daughter? Answer: the peddler interprets the acts of kindness and hospitality shown by the crofter, the ironmaster, and his daughter differently. He cheats the crofter as he provides him company in his loneliness and helps him pass time. He wants to get a couple of runners from the iron master and is surprised at the contrasting style of behavior of father and daughter. He is touched by the kindness, care, and intervention of Adla on his behalf. Now, question number second is: what are the instances in the story that show that the character of Aaron Master is different from that of daughter in many ways? What are the instances? Answer: the Iron Master is impulsive, whereas the daughter is cool, logical, kind, and thoughtful. In uncertain light, Iron Master, mistakes the stranger as his old regiment comrade. He invites him home and takes care of his feeding, clothing, etc. When he sees him in broad daylight, he calls the man dishonest, demands an explanation, and is ready to call in the sheriff. His daughter is more observant. She notices the fear of the stranger and thinks that either he is a thief or a runaway prisoner. In spite of that, she is gentle, kind, and friendly to him. She treats him nicely even after knowing the mistake in identity. Question number second. The story has many instances of unexpected reactions from the characters. The story has many instances of unexpected reactions from the characters to other behavior. Pick out instances of these surprises. Answer: the peddler is surprised at the warm welcome, generous, super cheerful company, and intimate confidence by the crofter. The ironmaster addresses the peddler as Captain Von Stale. He is surprised when the ironmaster calls him Niels Olof. The ironmaster assumes he is declining the invitation as a result of embarrassment caused by his miserable clothing. The peddler the peddler's comparison of the world to a rat trap makes the ironmaster laugh, and he drops the idea of calling in the sheriff. The peddler looks at Adla in boundless amazement when she tells him that the suit is a Christmas present. She also invites him to spend next Christmas with them. She does all this even after knowing the mistake about his identity. The crofter is robbed by his guest, the red ray peddler, in return of his hospitality. Now, the question number 4 is: what made the peddler finally change his ways? What made the peddler finally change his ways? Answer: Adla William Willman's son. Adla Willman's son treated the tramp in a friendly manner. She was nice and kind to her. She interceded on his behalf when her father was about to turn him out. She still entertained the peddler even after knowing the truth about him. She offered him the suit as a Christmas present and invited him to spend the next Christmas with them. Her love and understanding aroused the essential goodness in the peddler, and finally he changed his ways. Question 5. How does the metaphor or the rat trap serve to highlight the human predic- predicament? How does the metaphor of the rat trap serve to highlight the human predicament? Answer. The world entires entices a person. The world entices a person through the various good things of life, such as riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing. These were just like the baits in the rat trap. Once someone is tempted by the bait, the world closed on him. The peddler was tempted by 30 runner of the corrupted. It makes him hide himself. He walks through the wood. He is afraid to go to the manor house. He gets peace only after returning the bait. Question, that is after returning the money. Question number 6. The peddler comes out as a person with a subtle sense of humor. How? How does this serve in lightening the seriousness of the theme of the story and also endear him to us? Answer. The peddler has a subtle sense of humor which is revealed during his interactions with the ironmaster and his daughter after the truth about him because after the truth becomes him known. He is neither afraid of being turned out in cold rags nor being sent to prison. He makes the ironmaster laugh with his metaphor of the rat trap. His letter with a Christmas present to Edla is a fine example of his capacity to make others laugh at him. Thus, he lights the seriousness of the theme of the story and also endears himself to us. Now, talking about the text, discuss the following in groups of four. Each group can deal with one topic and present the views of your group to the whole class. Now, first, the reader's sympathy is with the peddler right from the beginning of the story. Why is this so? Is the sympathy justified? Answer. The peddler wins our sympathy for his way of life and how the world treats him. It is an admitted fact that the underdog always runs away with sympathy. So does the peddler with the rat traps. He bags the material like wire for his rat trap. His business not being specially profitable, he resorts to beginning and pity theory to keep body and soul together. His life is sad and monotonous. He plods along he plods along the road, lost his own mediation. The world has never been very kind to him and he feels happy in calling it a rat trap. Whenever he asks shelter for the night, he meets sore faces. He is an unwelcome, unwanted, and undesirable figure. The blacksmiths at forge glance at him only casually and indifferently. The master blacksmith nods a haughty consent without honoring him with a single word. The old and lonely crofter finds him an enjoyable company. The ironmaster mistakes him for an old regimental comrade. Only Edla, Willman's son, behaves with him in a kind, friendly manner. Her nice treatment arouses the tramp's goodness. He redeems himself high, returning the stolen money, and wins our admiration. Thus, we see that the sympathy is not only well earned but well justified too. The question number 2 is, the story also focuses on the human loneliness and the need to bond with others. Answer. There are at least three characters in the story who suffer from loneliness and express the need to bond with others. They represent three strata of the human society as well. The peddler with Rattrap, the old crofter, and the iron master all suffer from loneliness. The peddler is called a tramp, a vagabond, and stranger. At various points of the story, he moves wearily from place to from one place to other. He is lost in his own thoughts. He seeks shelter for night ends. People look at him with sour faces. Even the blacksmith looks haughtily at him and nod consent. The old crofter suffers from loneliness as he has neither wife nor child with him. Hence he feels happy when he gets the peddler to talk to in his loneliness. The ironmaster is also lonely in his manor house. In his manor house, his wife Elizabeth has died, and his sons are abroad. There is no one at home except his oldest daughter and himself. He is requested to captain one sail to accompany him, show his need for human bonding. He admits frankly that they do not have any company by for Christmas. The stranger turns down the request not because he is against bonding with others, but because he fears being caught with stolen money. Now, question number three: have you known or heard of an episode where a good deed or an act of kindness has changed a person's view of the world? Yes. Answer: yes, I know. The kindness of Bishop transformed a hard-hearted, beastly convict into a man again with faith in God and human values. The story is presented in the form of a famous play, The the Bishop's Candlesticks. Bishop's Candlesticks. The bishop provides food and shelter. It might be a runaway convict who threatens him with a knife. Long years of imprisonment and harsh treatment in the prison ship has transformed the man into best, and he's devoid of all human feelings now. The convict runs away with the bishop's silver candlesticks, but is caught by the police. In order to save the convict from further punishment and torture, the bishop tells the police officer that the fellow is his friend and he had himself given him the candlesticks. The act of bishop melts the hard heart of the convict. He sobs and sips. He promises to be a man again. The story is both entertaining and philosophical discuss. This most important question: the story entertains us by providing glimpses into human nature and how people react to various situations. The actions of the peddler after stealing 30 runner are quite amusing. The reactions of the blacksmiths to the tramp's request for shelter show how casual and indifferent human beings can be. The U-turn in the iron master's attitude towards the stranger reveals how selfish and ignorant human beings can be. Mistaking the vagabond for his old regimental comrade whom he thinks he has run across unexpectedly, he asks the stranger to accompany him home and spend Christmas with them. When the stranger refuses to go with them, the ironmaster sends his daughter with her better persuasive persuasive power, and she makes him follow her. The ironmaster is annoyed on seeing the stranger in broad daylight, but instead of realizing his own mistake, he puts the blame on the man. He talks of handling him over the sheriff. The metaphor of the world begins. A red trap saves the situation for the tramp. But the ironmaster wants to turn him out. His daughter's comments are quite entertaining and philosophical. She wants the tramp to enjoy a day of peace. Secondly, she does not want to chase a away a person whom they had invited home and had promised Christmas cheer. बस इतना ही. Thank you very much.